What if I told you that the Vietnam War was not just a battle between two ideologies, but also a catalyst for a seismic shift in the global economy? Well, it's time to peel back the layers of history and take a closer look. The Vietnam War, a fierce conflict that raged from the mid-1950s to the mid-70s, was a clash of titans, a struggle between the forces of communism and democracy. But there was more to it than that. This war, which took place in the narrow confines of the Vietnamese jungles and cities, had far-reaching implications that rippled across the globe. And among these ripples, one of the most significant was its impact on the world economy. This aspect, however, is often overlooked in history books. The war didn't just change the political landscape, it also triggered a shift in economic power, affecting people's lives in ways that few could have predicted. But to truly understand the gravity of the situation, we need to dive deeper into the aftermath of this conflict. Behind the military strategies and political maneuverings, there were real people whose lives were forever changed by the Vietnam War. The human cost of the Vietnam War is a story that needs to be told. The war claimed the lives of millions, both military personnel and civilians, and left countless others wounded or maimed. The sheer scale of human loss and physical destruction was staggering. The war displaced millions of Vietnamese people, uprooting them from their homes and forcing them to seek refuge in unfamiliar places. But the cost wasn't just a matter of life and death. The war also had a profound impact on the mental health of those who survived. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, was rampant among veterans and civilians alike. The trauma of war, the loss of loved ones, the constant fear and uncertainty, all these left deep psychological scars that lingered long after the guns had fallen silent. American soldiers were not immune to this either. Many returned home bearing the weight of what they had seen and done. Their families, too, were profoundly affected. The war had taken their sons, brothers, husbands, and fathers away, and those who returned often did so as changed men. The impact of the Vietnam War was far-reaching and long-lasting. It wasn't just a chapter in a history book, but a defining event that shaped the lives of millions. The scars of this war were not just physical, but also deeply psychological, affecting generations to come. Wars, as destructive as they are, also have profound economic implications. The Vietnam War was no exception. The ripple effect of this conflict was felt far beyond the battlefield, stretching to the far corners of the world economy. On the home front, the American economy buckled under the weight of the war. The United States poured billions of dollars into the Vietnam War, draining its treasury and causing a budget deficit. This financial strain led to inflation, with the dollar losing its value and prices skyrocketing. Everyday citizens found themselves bearing the brunt of this economic turmoil as the cost of living soared and wages stagnated. This period marked a significant downturn in the American economy, the repercussions of which were felt for decades after the war ended. But the economic impact of the Vietnam War was not confined to the shores of America. The war disrupted global trade dynamics as the United States diverted resources to the war effort. This shift in priorities affected global markets, causing instability and economic uncertainty in countries around the world. Meanwhile, Vietnam faced its own economic devastation. The war had ravaged the country's infrastructure, decimated its agriculture, and left its economy in ruins. Yet, in the aftermath of the war, Vietnam showed remarkable resilience. The nation embarked on a path of economic reform and recovery, gradually rebuilding its economy and regaining its footing on the global stage. Today, Vietnam stands as a testament to the power of economic resilience. In the grand scheme of things, the Vietnam War serves as a stark reminder of the economic consequences of conflict. It underscores the fact that the cost of war extends beyond the battlefield, infiltrating every aspect of society, from the economy to the livelihoods of everyday citizens. The economic tremors of the Vietnam War were felt across the globe, forever altering the world's economic landscape. So, what does all this mean for us today? The Vietnam War, beyond its historical significance, serves as a stark reminder of the human and economic toll of conflict. It urges us to question our actions, our decisions, and our global responsibilities. The ripple effects of the war, felt even today, underline the need for dialogue, diplomacy, and understanding in resolving disputes. History is not just about understanding the past, it's about learning from it for a better future. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful videos.